Hey guys, welcome back. We got another Model 12 in here for service, and this was sent in by Vince, and we are going to go ahead and just plug this in and see how it runs before we go through and get our service done, so we can look for other issues. One thing I noticed about this is it's got looks like a brand new cord on here, a pretty heavy duty one by the looks of it. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to just see what this thing sounds like. Okay, well, doesn't sound like anything. There's apparently no power to it for whatever reason. Alright, so I guess we'll take it apart and try and figure out what the issue is with it. I think that stand doesn't come with it. That's my old Model 10 stand that you see me use when these come in for service. I think the first thing we'll do is take a look at the cord connection here and see if we can see any obvious issues with that. Okay, so here is the connections. The connections look good. Okay, so it's probably not an issue with the connection there. So I'm going to go through though and put it back on the stand, and we'll just start taking it apart on the inside. If this cord connection is good and this is a new cord, I think I'm going to leave this on there. And we'll see if it's an issue in the back. I will disconnect the cord if there's an issue with the coils, since I'll have to get to those, but if the field coil's fine, I think I will leave that part intact. I also noticed these don't return like they're supposed to, the bead ejector. So that would be another issue. Alright, let me see what's going on under here. See if we see any obvious reason why this wouldn't run. Everything seems to be in place here. Plug it back in. See if we can just trigger it by if it's on-off switch. Okay, so it's not the on-off switch. Well, now we do have a bit of a mystery on our hands here. Alright, that brush did not come out. There it is. Alright, the brush is decent. I mean, that's nothing that would cause it to not run. Same with that one. Alright, well, we've obviously got something else going on here. So let's start tearing it down. Let's see what we can find out. Alright, we gotta take the whole thing apart anyways. We'll check that resistor out later. Oh, look at that. This is like sloppy loose right here. So that's busted. Alright, well, we have a clue. Let's just keep working on getting it tore down here. All these screws that held this piece on seem to be really loose. Yeah, I think that's the issue right there, because this is totally disconnected, and that's where one of your connections from the field coil hooked to. So I think that right there. Let's see if I can get a better view here. Let's see. Now there's a setting on here for flash somewhere. I just can't find it. Hold on. There we go. Let's get a little more light on it here. Alright. I don't know if you see, this whole piece is busted off right here, and there's a connection right there. If that was disconnected, it wouldn't run, so I think we found the issue here. We're going to have to replace the speed control assembly. And I'm going to keep this light on here so that you guys can see. Looks like every screw under here is really loose. And now that we found the problem, what I suspect is the problem here, because that would make sense why it wouldn't be getting power. Yeah, look at this. These are all loose. We're going to go ahead and just finish the teardown on here so we can get everything cleaned up and polished and ready to put back together. Yep, there it is right there. Completely disconnected. Or unscrewed. I don't know, there's a screw there. I know my hand's in your way, sorry. Hey, how's it going?
It's going.
Trying to figure out exactly how this would have went on here. Okay, so perhaps it wasn't busted after all. Heck is that? That screw had just come out. It was loose like everything else. Alright, well, we'll try and put this back together. This part back on there. Maybe. That top contact on there looks like it's almost gone, so we may end up having to replace that anyways. Alright. I'm spinning around. And let's dig into the front here. Get that cap off. Now I'm going to move this back of here. I'll just keep knocking into it. Alright. Well, it looks like that's been greased to try to help this along here, but it wasn't really helping it. And it's possible that it's bent. These things do get bent sometime. It's hard to really tell even by looking at it, but we'll try and figure out what's going on with it. And we'll put it back together and we'll be able to get it to work. I haven't looked back in my emails and messages to see what the story was with this one. I just know, I just pulled it out and figured this one was next in line. So I'll start working on it. Meanwhile, I've got like 4 or 5, I think 5 of them, 5 other mixers tore apart, ready to start getting sandblasted and powder coated. I got to run down and pick up more blasting media. I went through the last bag I bought in no time. So I got to go reload on that, and I can start getting those all ready for powder coat. So there'll be a delay in videos coming up after this one until I get all those done. Alright, there's our little plastic piece stuck to the end of the armature, which is fine. The grease in here looks fresh. So yeah, I think somebody did do some service and maintenance on this, and like I said, the grease looks decent in here. Yeah, all of it. Somebody did re-grease this, so that's good to see. We're going to re-grease it again because, of course, want to see what's up with this machine. Make sure everything rotates good and stuff. So we're going to end up taking it all apart and cleaning it anyways. We'll get all this cleaned off here. It's just more stuff that gets sucked in through the fan. Well, it's good to see that somebody gave this thing some maintenance. And I think, everything would have been fine with it had that screw not come undone on that speed control plate. Of course, it may also need, a capacitor, resistor, or something too. We'll have to check that. But if it does, it's no big deal. Alright, yeah, I think we're going to end up taking this apart because there's a lot of crud up inside of there, so we want to get all that cleaned out. Yeah, the front rotates nice. I mean, everything moves nice and smooth on here. We'll get this polished up there since it's good. We're going to put new brushes in this. Alright, well, I'm back here, might as well pop these connectors off of the brush holders here. Just little spring clips. Oh yeah, these turn nice. The grease is really slick. Alright, you can see those need to be cleaned up a bit, but they look really good. You guys see what they usually look like when they come out of here in the other videos. Man, I'm just not used to seeing all this fresh grease. I think that's awesome. So it's got new grease, the brushes are decent, everything moves freely, and the cord was replaced, so yeah, somebody put a decent amount of work into this. Alright, we'll get that cleaned up too. I'm not sure how old the lube on there is. It does feel a little on the sticky side, but really not too bad. Like I said, they did turn freely. Alright. So, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and get the rest of this grease that they put in out of there, so I get that all cleaned up, and get the fuel coil out of here, get the inside of the machine cleaned up really well, and that means I'm going to have to disconnect that cord from it, which is no big deal, and then we'll test the resistor and make sure the capacitor is good, get it all put back together and see how it runs. So I'll be back once I get everything cleaned up. Alright, so we've got this all cleaned up and ready to put back together here, and I think we're going to spin this around so we can see the back here, and we'll just start putting some parts back in there. Make sure I've got my brush holder connectors back on there, because I did pull this fuel coil out because it was all nasty and dirty here, so we got that all cleaned out. But overall, I mean, like I said, this thing was in really good shape. Somebody did do a maintenance on this, and they did a pretty good job of it. And I think what happened is something just came apart putting it back together, but we're going to find out when we get ready to put this all back together here. Another thing I noticed, I took this apart to clean it here, and the back part of it right here, the oil wick is like extremely crumbly. It's deteriorating badly, and this is the piece that goes inside it. That basically it sits on the back of the armature like that, but you can see that one's worn through so much it's actually starting to push. I mean, there's hardly any metal connecting this anymore, and that's starting to pop that right out of there, and then basically turning this into a washer. So to fix that, from a parts machine, we got another one that's got a, I believe, good piece of metal in there. We're going to check it quick and make sure. And yep, you can see the metal in there. It's having a shiny spot on it. It's not worn. So let's put this wick back in there. And let's go ahead and put this on, and then we'll thread that on here. I want that little sleeve to be inside of this housing here. There we go. There we go. So now we've got that situated. Make sure our oil hole is lined up on the top. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to attach this. I have to check that oil hole again. I think it seems to be a pretty loose fit here. that's on. Oil up this wick in here. Make sure there's plenty on there. And we'll reattach it here. Lefty tighty. There we go. Make sure oil holes line up at the top. And now, I'm going to go put this piece back on. I just want to make sure this is nice and tight. That's the part that fell off on there before. And I think that was the only thing that was wrong with this. Like I said, I was looking in there at that contact, and not sure I have another one to replace this with. I mean, there's still some contact there, but it's not, you know, there's a lot like on the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that in there. Where that contact's at. I'm gonna look and see what I got here. I've got this one. And you can only see the top contact in it. And I think I'll go ahead, I'll just put this one in. I'll see. I'm not sure if this one even works or not, if this one was taken out of something because it was bad, or if it's a spare one sitting around. It's about the only one that I could find anymore. I'm getting low on replacement parts for these suckers here. And these, like parts like this here, you can only get from, you know, another machine, a donor machine. And at one time I was buying them up, you know, and I had a lot of parts sitting around, but you know, over time you start using them and eventually you're going to run out. One more screw. There it is. I still think, you know, attaching that piece to that other one, though, is what was needed to fix that. And I'm going to keep it close by just in case there is something wrong with this one here, because, like I said, I'm not sure why this one was set. Matter of fact, I think I will get the brushes back in here and get this thing ready to turn on before I add any other parts to it, just to see what's going on there with that. You know, I don't want to get it all put together and then find out the speed control has something wrong with it. And we're going to reuse these brushes here since they are good. And look, I mean, the springs are shiny, so these look like they were replaced here at some point. And they look just like the springs on the brushes I have. So yeah, let's go ahead and get our brush caps on here. And I also want to check the resistor here. I got it cleaned off, but I haven't really checked it yet. Alright, so let's make sure we got contact. We have contact. Alright. Alright, So I'm going to say that it's in good shape. So we can go ahead and we can reuse this. And also the capacitor on here, which appears to be good, but we'll know more once we get it in there and fired up. Now we know that we put those in. I'm going to hook these wires up. I'm just going to pop the capacitor resistor in here and just see if this thing works. This speed control here is what I'm leery about. I'm not leery about it. I don't know. I don't know if this was a good one or one that was replaced. So we'll get our wires hooked up there. Let's pop our capacitor in. Let's pop our resistor in. And let's plug it in and see what happens. Alright. Still nothing. So, why are we getting no power? Alright, let's start from scratch here on this. Alright, so let me try to explain what I found out here. Not sure yet where the problem lies, but we're narrowing it down. I did check on the cord. If I check the side of the cord here, you can see that coil is good because it goes from this cord connection, it connects underneath here, it goes through the one coil and out the brush holder. Okay, so on the other side, if I check it, I've got absolutely nothing right there, but it does have to go through the switch first. And if let me get this out of here quick. If I check onto this leg here, you can see we go through the coil and it comes out here to the switch. If I check the other side, there's nothing. So that leads me to believe that there must be an issue with the switch, because as right now with that top off, this on off switch should be open. And why it's not, I don't know. So let's experiment a little bit more here and try and find out what's wrong with this switch, or why this has no power. I mean, like I said, it's obvious that we've got power. The cord's working. Power's going in here. It's going through the coil. You could tell by it was 3 point some ohms coming out to here. So that means it goes through the coil first. It comes out here to the switch, and then this is the on-off tab right here. That should complete this circuit to this side, and it's not. So that means we have an issue. That means, Houston, we have a problem. So let me try and bypass the switch and see what happens. I get some brushes back in here. Yeah, I'm having is this the right? Yeah, I've replaced the switch. I'm wondering if there's more than one issue, or if that wasn't even the issue. That had to be the issue because that one leg was disconnected from there. But but why is it still a problem? So let's plug it in. Pull these legs down here. Let's plug this in and see what we can find out. Alright. Let's go. Alright. For some weird reason, still nothing. You see, I'm just drawing no amperage whatsoever. It should be trying to draw amperage. So that eliminates the switch as a problem. So it's got to be a wire problem. Yeah. But it doesn't make any sense though. Alright, let me start taking it apart and see what I can find out here. I'll come back as soon as I get it apart. Alright, so let's see if we made some progress here. If this works, I'm gonna crap because it was the simplest thing. Alright, so basically what it was I took when I took the brushes out, I checked the brushes, and the one brush I don't think was seated all the way. You know, it was kind of a little sticky coming out. So I, cleaned the brush up really good with that QD and made sure there was no funk on it. It was kind of sticking, I think, in there. And now it slides in and out, and you can, when you go like this at spring, you can hear it going tap, tap, tap against the armature. So I think that was the problem, is the brush wasn't making contact. I don't think that was the original problem, because on the original switch here, that was obviously disconnected, and I think that's the part you need. But it could have been a combination of both, but I think that's what originally caused it. This time there was just a brush hanging up, causing the same symptoms, so it kind of had me scratching my head over this here. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta check the simplest thing. So I'm glad I didn't end up tearing this whole thing apart. I just took this speed control part off of it, and it should run good now. Yeah, sometimes, it's the simplest things. I could tell from testing with the meter that everything seemed to be making a good connection, but for some reason the switch didn't seem to. But maybe it doesn't work the way I think it works. I don't know. Who knows? But had I checked, I think, from one side to the other across the armature, I probably would have found the problem and then suspected either armature or brush. But yeah, some things just take a little bit more investigation, and then you can usually get to the root of the problem. Do a little bit of testing and checking, even visual checks. Now it seems to be moving just fine, and of course now the machine runs, so cause and effect. We'll find out here. Yeah, let me just throw a capacitor in here at least and plug this back in and just see if it fires up. Alright. Now it is not firing up. What the heck is going on here? Alright, I guess I didn't find the problem. Dang it. Well, then again, you know, maybe the speed control is bad. Like I said, I wasn't sure if it was good or not, so let's pop the original one back in here. Let's see what happens. Oh, I'm beginning to think this machine is cursed. No offense to the owner, but alright. Let me just check this one more time. Make sure it's not a fluke thing. Alright. Alright. So where's that original switch? Is this it? Yep, this is it. Alright. Alright, throw this back in. Do some hocus pocus on this thing and break this curse here. Alright, at least I know it's in this area because you make the connection yourself and it runs good. But you rely on the switch here to do it, and it doesn't. So there's nothing else that it can be. Oh my god, I hate my fingers. Alright, I'll bend that a little bit. Alright, let's see what happens here. Alright. There. Whew. Now it runs. Ay. Well, at least it runs. What's going on here? Get over there. Alright, now that part's on, we can start putting our other parts in here. There. I just can't see the hole that goes in there. I may need to go find my glasses. Because, you know, glasses may be annoying, but it's more frustrating when you can't see than if you have to wear glasses to see, I think. Alright, everything seems to sound good. I mean, yeah, it is noisy because there's no thrust on the end of that armature and stuff, so I'm going to leave this back open for right now. Pull this pin out so it don't fall out, and then I'm going to go through and oh, excuse me. I'm going to go through and get the gears and shafts in. Make sure you guys can see here. Yeah, I got all the grease cleaned out of here, even though it was all brand new grease. It was a pretty slick grease too. It felt, I don't know if it was a molly grease or what it was, but it felt pretty slick. Reminded me of the what do you call it, assembly lube that I used when I was building the motor for the Camaro. I got a Molly assembly lube. Super slick stuff. Speaking of Camaro, I got the Camaro done. And I got her up for sale now. Hoping it sells soon so I can pick up my next project and probably be my final project. I don't know if it will actually be my final one or not. It looks like it at this point. I just got to get the Camaro out of here quick. Alright, I think that would be good right there. There we go. Alright, let me get some grease back in here. front back together and get the thrust back on that thrust pin back on the end of that armature, and we can hear how this thing really runs, and I can make sure that that speed control is actually good. Because like I said, that one wasn't working when this came in. It had a piece missing off it, but other than that, it may be perfectly good, but I have no idea because I couldn't run it with it in there originally the way it came in. So I want to get everything back together the way it should be, and then we'll fire it up and see how it sounds. Well, I now know that this is bad. I can toss it out, get that in the garbage so I don't try to put it in another one. Alright, get our ejector in and the end here. Where's the ejector? There it is. We'll get our end piece on there with the handle. Oh, this I wanted to check too, that's right. I forgot all about this. I gotta make sure this thing still ejects. I see that there is grease all over everything here. So they were trying to get this thing to operate. Yeah, you can see right there it is not returning up when this part is on there. No, and it doesn't really appear to be bent. You know, sometimes these are bent where this whole piece right here sits crooked or sits too far off of here, but it doesn't appear to be the case. So I'm not really sure what is going on yet. I have to tweak it a bit. So let me get that tweaked and then I'll be back. Alright, I think we've got it now. All I did basically was just bend this part right here. All I did basically was just bend this part in here in just a little bit more, just to bring this whole thing a little bit closer to here when it was down, because it seemed like when it came down it kind of came off. So it seems nice and tight now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this all put back together here, and then we'll know, because this is a spring that goes on that little plastic piece. Let me find that. Alright, so we'll start assembling our parts back in here. As soon as I get them all together. Alright, does seem to still hang up right when this is in the upright position, so I gotta work on that a little bit more. Alright, a couple minutes tweaking later, we got the ejector working good. So now we can go through and make sure that everything is functioning as it should back here. Alright, that sounds good. That sounds way better. Amazing how much noise it makes when you don't have that spring and that little thrust pin in the front there. That armature moves back and forth a little bit, and you can't really see it, but you can certainly hear it. Makes the whole machine sounds like it's vibrating. Alright, so that's done. Let's pop this on and see if we need any adjustment on the speed. And for effect, let me throw in some beaters in here so that we can actually see the speed. I mean, that sounded pretty good to me. Alright. Alright, I think we're set. Got to put the caps back on the ends here, and I think that's going to be a wrap for this one. So this one did have a few issues, and it's nice to see maintenance was done on this. And unfortunately, it didn't fix the issues that it had, but we got that taken care of now, and we're going to get this on back home, where it can now be put to use. So if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will get back to those as soon as I can, and hopefully, it'll be a little while before we see one that's, that's tricky like this one was. This one was definitely a little bit on the tricky side here. I'm going to classy some grease up in the juicer port there. I'm going to try and clean out, but hopefully we won't see another one like this for a little while. This one was kind of a test, but anyways, like I said, if you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below, and I'll get back to those surely as soon as I can. Yeah, there's some definitely grease down in there. There we go. Get that clean out. Good thing is it won't be rusting. Alright. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We will see you on the next one.